Lakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are ready for another episode of amazing content today. We've had a great week so far. We want to keep the momentum going, baby. There's big things happening with the athletes that we work with. We've been publishing great content, and we want to continue to serve on a high level. Also, if there's ever anything that is on your mind or anything that you feel we should bring up, maybe there's a trending topic in the industry and we haven't covered it, or we haven't covered it to the length that you may feel like we should, please do not hesitate to put in the comment section, to reach out to us through email, DM, and let us know, hey, Coach, can you talk about this? Or, Coach, I'm going through that. Can you help me out with it? Please, please, that's what this is all about, baby. So we are getting after it today, as we always do. If you're joining us for the very first time, I'm your host, Coach Wood. This is the Before You Go Pro channel. This is where we serve young football players, families of football players, the coaches and the fans out there. So hit that subscribe button if that's you. And then also check out the resources we have down in the description box, specifically for the ones that want to get after it. All right, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, baby, let's get into today's topic. This is the Weekday Huddle. So you know that we gather up, we get in the huddle, we get the play, we get out, baby. So that's what this is all about. You guys go execute wherever you're at. But this is the Weekday Huddle. So today, you guys, we are talking about the conversation on whether or not college football has gotten so big, the money that's involved, and now the money that is being paid to the players has gotten so prevalent, you guys, that there is no time for some. Maybe there is no desire to actually care about the athletes and care about the kids. You guys tell me, when you look at the highest level of college football, we know there's no more development. You know, if you're playing FBS ball or you're playing major Power 4 ball, some of these powerhouse FCS programs, there's going to be very, very little time to develop you. Obviously, they're going to teach you some skills. You're going to have a playbook and go through all of that. But there's going to be very little time to spend with particular players and really groom them and develop them for multiple years. This is plug and play. This is the microwave era. I'm paying for my microwave meal, right? So I want the meal ready now. I don't want the meal ready 3 years from now. So we already know there is no time, depending on the school you go to. Ohio State's not bringing you in to spend a lot of time developing you. So we know that there's no time to develop, or very little time. But is there time to care? Is there time? Is there a genuine interest and feel? Do you feel like the coach player dynamic, the in some cases the father figure dynamic is going to be completely gone out of the college football era at the highest level? If I'm Lane Kiffin and I'm paying $2, $3, $4 million for my quarterback Sam Levitt, if I'm paying $2, $3, $4 for Jordan Seaton to protect him, I got $4 to $8 million wrapped up in these people. Does that dollar figure make it all about production? Is our relationship, because of the dollar, all about production? But believe me, LSU's relationship to Lane Kiffin is all about the dollar and production. So, yes, we hope that your family's comfortable, but you better put some wins up on the scoreboard. So does that trickle down? The pressure that these college coaches are feeling, the money that these college coaches are making. You see Cignetti is in a whole different, he used to be the hunter, now he's the hunted. You see what he's making now. does that change the dynamic of things now that I have to pay my players? Once you pay somebody, you guys, this is an employer-employee relationship once I pay you. And then obviously, the higher I pay you, the more I'm expecting, right? So now that I'm at Cincinnati as a coach, I'm at Florida State, I'm at Nebraska, and I have to pay these players, and I'm expecting them to help me lock in my livelihood for my family. That's the relationship. It can't be too much kumbaya, right? It can't be too much that, hey, you had a bad night, you didn't get much sleep, and that's why you dropped that big time ball. It's I paid you $1 million. I paid you 500,000. I paid you 250,000, and now my butt is on the chopping blocks. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It wasn't kumbaya with a lot of coaches back in my day. You had your few coaches that really, really put the extra effort in, where it was, you felt like it was more than just X's and O's. You felt like it was about more with this particular coach than just how I perform on the field or how much eligibility I have left. But to be honest with you, I haven't heard from too many coaches since I hung up the cleats and the shoulder pads. Nobody's really calling you to say, hey, just calling to check up on you. It doesn't mean that it's not good, but they got things to worry about. They got people to help. They may still be coaching. So they got things on their plate, so it's you have some that you're friends with on social media still. You have somewhere, if you go to an event, you see the coach at the game, you go back to your old school, you see the coach there, that there's nothing but love there. But at the end of the day, you got, especially now that they know that you're going from school to school with the portal, do coaches have time? Do they have the desire? In you guys' opinion, in YouTube land, what do you feel? Do you feel that college coaches at the highest level really care about these players as people? Or is it just plug and play? If you don't perform, I'll go get another one. What have you done for me lately? What do you think? Is there still the desire? Because coaching back in the day, especially, the younger levels, and you work your way up, coaching was all about a connection. It was about, I want to recruit this player because I want him in our community. I want to check up on him. I want to grow him into a young man. I know that I'm going to have time to work with this young man. So I know his parents, I know his little brother, I'm recruiting his little brother. There's a real relationship, a real desire, and a real care for this person as a young man. When I see him at the alum event, it is real love. It's a real hug that you get. Does that exist? Will that exist, you guys, as we move forward? Or did once we implemented the dollar into this, where the athletes could get the dollar and where the athletes could go from school to school, is that going a byproduct? There's byproducts of things, right? Is the lack of love and care? I love you if you're balling out. I love you if you're at my school, but does the lack of care, the genuine care, or how much effort I'm going to put into this young man just as a person, does that diminish once the dollar comes into play? What do you guys think? Because if it does, then, or if it's just even a smaller amount of coaches that really want to feed into these kids and give them positivity and point them in the right direction, even off the field. If that minimizes, then the athletes are going to have to find that somewhere. While they're off at that university, they're going to have to find someone that is feeding into them as a human being and helping them grow as a man. Okay? Because that's used to be the selling point of a lot of these coaches when they came into your house. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we're going to help Terrence grow as a man. You know, we're going to make sure that he stops by the church. We're going to make sure that he's an upstanding citizen. We're going to take what you've built and help try to take it to the next level. That used to be a part of the pitch. Is it still a part of the pitch, or are we getting straight to the checkbook? You guys, because if we're getting straight to the checkbook, then I don't think there's too much care for these young athletes. So you guys tell me what you think. Once again, we're just trying to bring in the topics, the discussion that is going to pertain to a lot of you young football players out there, you families of football players. The game, the industry is changing. Doesn't mean for the better or worse, but it's changing. So you know we got to talk about it in the huddle. All right. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Help us grow this community extremely close to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. That means that we're getting the word out. That means that we're serving on a high level. The higher we grow that number. So help us grow that number, you guys. Share with your teammates. Share with your friends, your coach. Anybody that you know is into football needs to know about the Weekday Huddle. And before you go pro, we got a special locker room show for you guys this week. If you haven't tuned in, on Thursday evenings, we go live. We bring in the guru and we bring in a guest, and it's going to be fire this week. All right. So hit that subscribe button. I'm Coach Wood, baby. We'll see you at the top.
Don't watch that much.